Someone tell me why the boba is $11.
This is a crazy start to AX this year. And if the lotto gods are on my side, would love to come back tomorrow. I mean, 4 days. Most other conventions tend to be either 2 or 3 days, and the 4th of July weekend. So, okay. Oh, hey everyone! Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janine, and I am the artist behind Jeaninidraws. So this weekend we are at Anime Expo, also known as AX. It is in Los Angeles, California, and it's actually one of the biggest anime conventions in North America. They usually have around 100,000 attendees every year and are one of the few anime conventions that span over 4 days. So today is day 0. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow is the first day of vending, and I just finished setting up my table. So let's take a tour and I can show you guys what's there. I'm actually still missing some of my merchandise because I actually mailed a lot of my things to the hotel that I'm staying at. So I haven't checked into my hotel yet, so I haven't gotten a chance to grab my stuff. So I'll be bringing that in tomorrow morning. And basically I mailed all of my sticker sheets, which is why there are 0 sticker sheets right there. But I think you guys know all of my sticker sheets. The things that I wanted to show you that were new are actually my standees, which are debuting at AX. So I made thick standees for this show. I only have like 20 of each, so a pretty small batch. They're double-sided. It's the same art on each side, but it's based on the blind box series that Alien Stage has, at least one of the blind box series. I know they have a lot. So these guys are debuting this weekend, and I'm very excited to have them with me. I also am debuting my 100-line charms. Luckily these came in before I flew out, and I was able to add them to my display. They are all double-sided. There are actually like 16 characters, but I only did 5 of them because I didn't have time to draw all of them. But I have the main character, which I think is pretty important, and I think the rest of these characters are pretty popular. And then I also made some phone charms. So this one is also 100-line, but these 2 are from Danganronpa. They're like the mascots, so those are also debuting at AX. I think the rest of the things that are new are still coming in. I have some new stickers that are coming in too, which is why I have some empty spots here. But my friend is picking them up today, so I'm waiting for those. But yeah, I think that's everything. So here is my whole setup. Oh, actually, I am also bringing back large prints to this convention. I stopped selling them for quite a while because I got tired of bringing them around, but I know that at AX large prints do pretty well, so I wanted to bring them back, and I need to fill that spot up with something else, but I'll do that later. So this is the whole setup, and it'll be finished up tomorrow, and I will talk about like the table space and whatnot a little bit later in the video. Alright, see you guys tomorrow! So I'm in front of the Anime Expo building right now, and apparently there's like a fire inside of like the South Hall, so they're not letting anybody in. People are like sending videos of like people or of like smoke and stuff, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into art alley. I don't know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on, but there's a bunch of fire trucks everywhere. It's kind of crazy, so we'll see how today goes. This is a crazy start to AX this year. It's 12 p.m. right now. I missed my morning check-in just because this morning was so crazy with like all of the smoke and stuff, and it took us way too long to try to get into the building. I honestly think the hardest thing to do during AX, if you're not driving in, is like figuring out how to get into the building. All of the entrances are always so packed, and so we went to the priority entrance that they only allow like exhibitors and stuff to go into, but the line was still like super duper long. But I think it was probably the best way to go. So I am at my booth. It's been a couple hours since AX opened up, and it's been pretty crazy. My legs are tired from standing. Sales have been really good. I have noticed that there's been a lot more cash sales than card sales. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to properly compare like last year's numbers to this year's numbers, because usually I just look at the card numbers, but it's felt really good so far. I'm pretty happy. So Anime Expo is usually hailed as like the #1 convention to go to, but I had some hesitation about this year just because there's two main things. One is that they added like 300 to 400 additional vendors. The more vendors you have, you know, the less profit per table essentially, because it just splits the profits up even more. And then the other thing is that this year has just been really weird when it comes to conventions. With the economy being so bad, it's really affected the numbers for everybody, I think. That's just how it's been this year. It's been rough for all of us. And so that's why I've kind of tempered my expectations. But so far, like as I've been bidding, it's been pretty good. So maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this year is better than last year. We'll see how it goes, and I will just keep vending the rest of the day, and I'll check back in later today. Okay, so now that I'm a little bit more settled into AX, I wanted to talk about the space that we're given as artists in the artist alley. So each artist alley table is 6 foot wide and only 2 feet wide. So they're actually very narrow. So you can only fit like 2 cube grids across. So it's pretty limited. There is a height limit, 5 foot above your table. So you're not allowed to go any higher than that. They actually have volunteers going around with like poles that have the exact height that you're allowed to be at. So they walk around with the poles and like measure each setup. If you are over, you are like, they write you up for it. So if you're gonna be tabling here, be very mindful about that. Make sure your display is not over the height limit. The other really strict rule that AX has for your table is that you are not allowed to use any photo stands. So you can use the ones that clamp to the table, but anything that like stands on the floor you aren't allowed to use. And that's because they require you to keep the back of your display, or keep the back of your booth clear. And this is a rule that the fire marshal actually imposed on them. And this is to create a very clear aisle straight down the back of the artist alley booths, so that people are able to run back and forth very easily in case there's a fire. Hi, yeah. Can someone tell me why the boba is $11? Hello everybody! So it is officially the end of day 1 of Anime Expo, and I just wanted to compare my numbers to last year. So I actually was very close to my Thursday numbers just on card from last year. I was only probably like a couple, like 100, maybe a couple hundred off. So I'm really surprised. People are getting kicked out now. If you don't have an artist alley badge and you're still in the hall, they start kicking everybody out. Yep. Really pleasantly surprised that I was able to make as much as I did today. I'm really curious to get back to the hotel and count my cash, because I do think I made more cash sales. I did card sales. At least that's how it felt. I made back my expenses, so that's amazing. It's 3 days left of Anime Expo, and I hope it goes as well as it did today. We're gonna go and close up and probably just head to dinner, hopefully get some ramen or something. So I will check back in tomorrow morning, and hopefully there is no fire tomorrow. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2 of AX, and we just got here. I walked around a little bit before everything opened up. Not too many people are here yet. It's almost 8, right? It is 8 o'clock, so this is the earliest I think the fire marshal would open up, but we haven't had any announcements yet, so it's possible that they're not going to open up early today. I did want to talk about the Wi-Fi connection so far. We were provided Wi-Fi for the artist alley, through email. So we have like a mine's right here. They're coming to check. You can see how strict they are with keeping the aisles clear. So we were provided with Wi-Fi for Artist Alley via email, so we got like a little login. I did try to connect to it on my phone, but the Wi-Fi isn't like popping up on my phone. So unfortunately, I'm not able to use it, but I actually haven't had any issues. Do I have any wood to knock on? Oh, is it showing up today? Well, it didn't show up for me yesterday. Maybe I'll connect to it today and try it out, but I actually didn't have any issues yesterday. I'm on T-Mobile, and I'm also at like towards the end of the building, so maybe it's like, maybe I'm like closer to outside, so maybe it's okay. But I'll try it today, especially on my terminal, so that I don't have to turn on my hotspot, and hopefully it's still good connection, and I guess I'll report back. We'll see how today goes. I'm not expecting too much today, but hopefully it's still a good day. So I'll check in with you guys later. It is actually a little bit past halfway through day 2 of Anime Expo. So I'm part of 2 different stamp rallies this year. One of them is One Piece themed. It is One Piece Gold, which is like their movie, one of the movies. And we had a shaker charm, and we all drew like little chibis that go inside of the shaker charm. And here is the example. Yeah. So we had 30 of these prizes, and we actually ran out pretty much on day 1. So unfortunately, we don't have any more. So we really underestimated how well the stamp rally would do. We definitely should have had more prizes, but we based our numbers off of last year's stamp rally. We ended up with a ton of extras at the end of 2024, and so we wanted to make sure that didn't happen again, and so we went with a smaller number. But I guess everybody was really excited about this one, so it was a really successful stamp rally. I'm so sorry if you weren't able to get one. Really grateful to be part of the stamp rally. I'll put everybody's handles right here. Thank you guys for having me in the stamp rally. It was a lot of fun. And then the second stamp rally that I am part of is Persona theme. This is our stamp card. So it's a set of tarot card prints that are gold foil. Yes. So we each made one, and they all turned out super nice. Like I'm stunned by how gorgeous they turned out, and I'm really excited to put these on my wall when I get home. This is the one that I designed. It's the Persona 5 protagonist. Right, and then once again, I will put everybody's names up here. Thank you guys so much for having me in this Persona rally. It was my first time being in a Persona stamp rally, so I was really excited to be part of it. Luckily, we still have prizes for this one, so it's still going, and I hope people can still get prize packs. Those were the stamp rallies that I am part of.
This is your friendly reminder, we will be closing in 15 minutes. Please make your final purchases and proceed to the exits. Thank you, and have a great expo.
It's officially the end of day 2 of AX, and everybody is starting to shuffle out. I am probably going to stay behind a little bit to restock my sticker sheets and my die cut stickers. So I think like overall, just like numbers wise, I'm actually up by like 20% compared to last year's day 2, which I'm actually very surprised about. Pleasantly surprised, of course. A pretty good day today. I'm happy with how everything has turned out. I haven't counted my cash yet, but I'm just basing all of my numbers on the card. And I've also noticed a difference in like what has been popular. So last year, a lot of my die cut stickers were very popular, like were my best sellers. But this year, I think a lot of my charms are actually doing very well, and my sticker sheets are doing well too. I didn't have self-serve last year with my sticker sheets, but I do this year, so I think that makes a big difference. I also have more to choose from. I think I have more designs this year, so I think that also helps. I think what's moving slower this year compared to last is my big prints. So most of them are the same as last year, so it's possible people already have them. But I also didn't bring too many last year, so like I sold out very quickly because I didn't bring much stock of it. But this year I brought more, so they're taking longer to sell out. And then my t-shirts I think are doing pretty well. Maybe not as quickly as I hoped, but I think I will only have like a handful of shirts left at the end of the convention, which is great. If I could sell it, that would be amazing too, because I don't want to bring them home. So overall, today's been a really good day. If you are looking to vend at AX, you should keep an eye out for applications opening up towards the end of the year. And then they send out results in January. That gives people a lot of time to prep for AX in July. And then I think they lotto all the spots. So I'd say throw your hat in. You'll never know if you get in or not. Although I do not recommend this for a first-time convention. I think it would be very overwhelming if it's your first time tabling. I would be wary of trying to get into Anime Expo if you're just starting out. It's definitely like a great experience as a vendor, and I do highly recommend it if you are looking to like expand your vending portfolio. So it's a lot of fun. I love seeing all the amazing art around here. So I'm just gonna work on restocking some of my table, and then we're gonna head out for dinner, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So it's 9:30 a.m. and Artist Alley just opened up for day 3. So it's been open for about 45 minutes. They opened a little early today at 8:45. I haven't had a chance to vlog it because I was walking around shopping. I did want to talk about the things that I bring to Artist Alley to stay safe. I guess starting off with something obvious. I actually wear a mask all the time whenever I'm vending, and that's just because like I don't want to spread germs, and I also don't want to get sick because I see a lot of people walking through Artist Alley and I travel often, so I'm just trying to stay healthy so that I don't spread anything around either. Obviously bring water, so got my water bottle here. I'm really bad at drinking water actually, so I still bring it though. The other thing I bring is I bought this neck fan. Last year I just had a hand fan. Either one works. I don't usually wear it in the morning, but when it starts getting warmer, I like to put it on, and it helps me stay cool. And I also have a bottle of hand sanitizer that, you know, handling money all the time, but if you're like also eating, so I have my hand sanitizer. Just like emergency like meds and band-aids. I'm allergic to like everything, so I have some allergy meds in here with like pain meds and stuff. For anybody who has periods, be sure to bring like pads. So I make sure to bring these. The thing that like the worst thing that can happen is like you start your period and you're cramping during a convention and you don't have a pad. Like that's one of the worst experiences, and so I'm trying to be better about bringing them. Yeah, so that's like the basics of what I bring. I know a lot of other people bring like air purifiers to AX because of the high CO2 levels. So if that is something about that you're concerned with, you can look into those. Yeah, just try to stay cool, try to stay hydrated while you're here at AX, even as an attendee, honestly, not just as a vendor. Just wanted to show you guys what I bring and how I stay up on my feet all day. So that's just what works for me. It might be different for other people. That's just what I bring, and it has helped me a lot. Thought it might be useful to share that information. So a great resource that I found out about this year is something called the Artist Alley Dev page. So basically a group of volunteers got together and gathered all of the information about all of the artists, 900 plus of us, and compiled it into a web page that allows you to filter through and look through everybody's information about the merch they have, the series they have, and even like pictures of their catalog. So unfortunately, by the time this vlog comes out, this might not be as useful, but hopefully this will help inform people for 2026 that this exists. It's super duper helpful. Not only does it let you filter through by fandom, like by series, or even by merch type, it even lets you look through stamp rallies. It tells you the minimum purchase and lists all the artists in the stamp rally, so you can click on their name and it links to their page. You can even have a favorites list. So if you favorite them, it saves to like if you're browsing on your phone, all of your favorites are saved like when you open it back up again on your phone. So it makes it very easy to find the merch that you want or the series that you want, and it also helps you keep track of all that information. So like big shout out to the group of volunteers that are working on this, and hopefully you guys can use that information for 2026. AX Day 3 is officially over. I'm starting to kick people out, and I will probably start closing up soon. But just to recap for today, I did check my card numbers, and I am down 10% compared to last year. I still need to count my cash. I think it's still a really solid number. I'm not too far off, so I'm not too like disappointed. Today is a Saturday though. Usually Saturdays are the best, but I've noticed for Artist Alley, my Thursdays are usually the best. I mean, this is only my second time here, so yeah, I think day 1 is still the best for me. And I am running pretty low on a few designs. I completely have run out of my One Piece sticker sheets. Very low on my Lot Charm and my Perona Charm. Pikmin charm, my Pochita charm. So those are all the things I'm low stock on. Not too much else to report back on. It's been a really solid day 3 despite my complaints earlier. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is the morning of day 4, and we have about 5 minutes until Artist Alley opens. I did walk around a little bit more this morning, did some trades with people, so that was a lot of fun. But otherwise, I think I'm done with my shopping for this weekend. I don't want to spend too much, but it's also AX, so it's, you know. So I don't have too much to report on this morning, just that I'm tired and I'm ready to go home. But I'm also excited that we've gotten to day 4, and I'm really looking forward to vending today. So I will check in later in the afternoon, and hopefully I will have positive reviews of the day. So it is halfway through day 4 of AX, and it's actually pretty slow today for me, unfortunately. Last year Sunday was also my slowest day, and I mean, to be fair, it does end at 3 p.m, so it ends 3 hours earlier than the other 2 days. So right now, I did check my card numbers, and I am like 50% of the way to what I made last year, so I think that's a good sign. Just to share a little bit more information about sales as well. My goal for this year was to try to beat the numbers I made last year, although I had very low expectations for that. But I think I'm actually projected to potentially beat last year's numbers. Not by much, maybe just by like a couple hundred or something like that. But I think that's still pretty big to reach. Hi! Alright, I can't remember the last thing I talked about, but basically, I think today's going like fine. It could be better, it could be worse, but I'm just gonna keep selling and hopefully can go pass out in bed later today. That's my goal. Officially the end of Anime Expo 2025. This day has been pretty interesting. To be honest, it was a little slow today, but overall the experience at vending at Anime Expo has been amazing. I had a ton of fun, and if the lotto gods are on my side, would love to come back tomorrow. I mean, the lotto gods are on my side. I would love to come back next year. Who knows what's gonna happen? I know it's gonna be another crazy waiting time to try to get in.
So if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Stop by my table if you bought something or even just came by to say hi. Thank you so much. I always love talking to all of you, especially about all of like our mutual fandoms and stuff. I always have a lot of fun. And yeah, and I really hope that you guys will stop by and see me in the next vlog. I don't know when that'll be, but it'll happen eventually. So thank you again. Bye!